And we are back. Bish, how are you? It was a tough weekend last week, wasn't it? On that Sunday, it was nervous times for us all, I think. But no, yeah. How's you? How's everything been this week?
Yeah, good. Not great with it on the betting front. I think I won from three. Michael Thomas saved me my blushes on the Monday night football. So I'm hoping to be a bit better this week. I've sort of stuck with my player props, leaning on my on the fantasy aspect. And you weren't far off on a couple. A couple of things go either way, and it could be a big week for yourself. So a few close misses, but yeah, week 2 weeks down, and we're on to week three.
Yeah, I'll just quickly show them for the viewers to hold accountability. I landed the Chiefs bet. Tyler Algier was very close. Obviously, the Falcons did win. Baker Mayfield was close as well. Mike Evans got the touchdown, but I don't think he Baker threw for 2 touchdowns, I believe, Bish. So I was one off out of the three there for my bet 365, and then Bish's Chargers
Yeah.
-3. Yeah, go on, Bishop, talk us through
Just
it.
the Chargers. Somehow the Chargers managed to blow it again. So I'm staying well clear of the Chargers. A great team, but just somehow they find a way to lose. I totally got the Chiefs Jaguars wrong. You were right on that one. Low score. Chiefs defense really stood up there, which I should. Yeah, a young defense, but they were very good. And then yeah, to save my blushes, Michael Thomas, who I'm loving this year. It's great to see him. Derek Carr is making the most of him. So yeah, one out of three, not great. So we'll put it behind us and we move on. We move on swiftly.
Yeah, we were just talking actually, weren't we, before we've come live here, that this week 3 is actually a tough week in terms of matchups. We think the betting is pretty close, the handicap's pretty close. So I've gone for one handicap that I think might come off, but otherwise it looks player props and other bets going in there because it's a tough week. I think the bookies are quite good on their handicaps this week, Bish. I don't know about you.
Yeah, it's one of those week 2 as well. It's still early form. There's not much pattern you can take out of it, I don't think. And there's some big handicaps, double figure handicaps, which are obviously very. It's tough to take on, especially with garbage time, so to speak. Teams coming back, teams with a lead sort of loosen off a little bit, and teams come back and try and get within that one score, and then there's some coin flips either way. So yeah, it's a tough week, but some interesting matchups with some if teams lose, 0-3, it's a long season.
It is, yeah. I think there's a couple of games, but before we get into it, viewers, people watching, I think this is going to go out on YouTube, Instagram. This little clip. We want your bets of the week. Obviously, we're saying now how it was a tough week. We struggled where to go to. We think we've nailed 6 for you, but it's a tough week. Put your bets down below in the comments. Give us everything you've got. We'll jump on yours. Hopefully, you back us and jump on ours, and we can all make some money on a week 3 that might have big consequences, as you said, Bish, for a lot of teams going into it. But Bish, take us through Bish's best bets. We're straight into it. I think I put week 2's up
last week.
Yeah, well, we're not looking at that one again. We've got week 3. Take us through it.
Week 3. So I've started with an interesting one. The running backs have had no love this off season. None of them have got paid, and it's been a tough start for them. We've had Barkley get injured, we've had Eckler get injured, Nick Chubb last week got injured, and Jacobs has not had a great start. So, but I think Jacobs can pull it back. Pull it back for the running backs this week. He was obviously last year's number 1 rusher, number 1 running back. He's had a slow start. He's had 48 yards week 1, and as we spoke about, -2 yards week 2. So, but he's coming up against a Steelers defense, which without Cameron Hayward is very leaky on the ground. They've given up 188 yards in week 1 against the Niners, and 198 on Monday against the Cleveland Browns. So, within that, there's been a long run. Christian McCaffrey managed a 65-yard run, and Jerome Ford managed a 69-yard run. So if we can get that one big run off Josh Jacobs, it puts us in a great position where he's sort of almost near that rushing total, just off one carry. So yeah, I'm putting my neck on the line, I think, a little bit here with the way he started, but it's Josh Jacobs over 71.5 rushing yards.
Basically, I like it. Obviously, brilliant for me with fantasy. Jacobs is in my fantasy. I don't know if you're backing me there, a bit of friendship with doing the show together, but I like it. Like you said, he's just not quite. He's had his receiving yards. He's had his good games. Obviously, watching him closely, just some good defensive teams, and I think, yeah, agree with you. Brilliant bet, Bish. Next one.
Straight into number 2. So this is a big game. This one, Chargers at the Vikings. They're both 0-2. Two teams, especially the Vikings, who did pretty well last year. Who were expecting big things from. And I think Vikings. They've not got a running game. They've just made a trade for a running back in Cam Akers. They've not managed to nail that part of the game. But Kirk Cousins is certainly showing up early doors. Just looking at his stats, I was looking at his stats. Sorry, his stats have gone from view. But the last 2 weeks he's been absolutely lighting it up. And we've got Justin Jefferson who's hit 150 yards, 159 yards. But we've also had Jordan Addison there, who is a pretty. He doesn't get the receptions, but it's quality rather than quantity with him. He's always got one big throw in him, one big catch in him. Sorry, the bookies have sort of cottoned onto this. So last week he was at 39.5 yards. This week he's up to 49.5 yards. So the bookies are seeing it there, but both weeks he's been over that. He had 61 yards week 1 and he had 72 yards week 2. So I think he can hit that over 50 mark. And in this game, I'm sort of thinking similar in terms of there could be some points. Kirk Cousins is going to need to throw the ball, and Derwin James might see a lot of Justin Jefferson, which leaves Addison there, to try and hit that big one. And again, he's had one long catch. He's had a 39-yarder in week 1 and a 62-yarder in week 2. So if we can get that big play, he's almost hitting that overs there. This is a game that I like all 3 of the Vikings wide receivers, if I'm honest. Justin Jefferson is sat at 102.5, and I believe TJ Hawkinson is around 50 as well. But for my best bet, I'm sticking with Addison, who I've liked what he's done so far this year. So it's Jordan Addison over 49.5 receiving yards.
Brilliant, Bish. Yeah, another one in one of my fantasy teams, and I don't want, but he's been brilliant. Like I said, got a touchdown in every game, and he just looks as explosive as Justin Jefferson. Probably not quite that level, but you can see the talent's there, and there's no reason why Kirk Cousins. I think Kirk Cousins on for the most passing yards on a season. Obviously, it's only after 2 weeks of all time, but that's because Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison are obviously so good.
Yeah, I've just found that Kirk Cousins line is in 2 games. He's thrown for 708 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 1 interception. So he's definitely getting some usage, and that's both off 41 attempts in both week 1 and week 2. So they're very consistent with what they do, and they definitely throw the ball. And bet number 3 is a player that I'm starting to look at as I say he was a waiver target, but he'd probably be snapped up now. But he's becoming to be Nico Collins, the CJ Stroud, the Texans quarterback. He's beginning to be his number 1 target. He's got the most receptions on the year. He had a massive game last week, 140 plus yards. And I think at 53.5 receiving yards in a game that I expect the Texans to be trailing in, I think it allows, as we spoke about, that garbage time, so to speak, in terms of there's a big lead. The Jags have got a big lead. The Texans are they're throwing the ball, and Jags are probably sitting back, just allowing that the Texans just to make some yards, eat the clock a little bit, and I think that's where we might get this one. The Jags, the secondary, I'm not that big on the secondary, if I'm honest. They give up on average 256 receiving yards a game, and individually against Kansas City last week, 2 receivers went for over 60 yards, and week 1 against the Colts, Michael Pittman went for 97 yards. So I think we've got some scope there to hit over the overs. So yeah, I'm locked in at number 3. Nico Collins over 53.5 receiving yards.
Brilliant, Bish. Great bet just to go over. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, it's a bit unlike you, that Bish. All three ones, but like we said, it's a tough go. I like it though, and there's one man who will know it, and I think that's you. You're amazing at your stats. You do more research than any man I've seen on YouTube. So, Bish, I think you could be on for a good week. And you do get your player props right, don't you? I don't. Well, you might say.
I'd like to say that's my strength. So we'll see after this week. But yeah, I think it might be a route, especially now we're up with the fantasy content. I think that might be a route I go down because, as I said, it's still early in the season. Form's a bit here and there, so just reading the handicaps and the over unders is a bit tough at the minute. So yeah, I'm all about the player props.
Yeah, it's fair enough. I don't really have much more to say about that. Yeah, like you said, you're class at fantasy, you're class at that. Let's have it, Bish. I'm hoping you get 3 out of 3. You deserve a 3 out of 3 week round research put into all 3 of them bets there. You give that many stats at me there. It's jumbled my good head.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll rack on to mine. My first one, I'll load up here. It's a controversial one, Bish, and you might go against me here, but I've got the Colts at +8. They're against the Ravens. They're against the Baltimore Ravens, who are a good side. Obviously, they beat the Bengals and the Texans so far. But don't hold me accountable, Bish. I've watched the Colts. I just like this team. I like this Colts team. I think they're good all-around team. Anthony Richardson come out last week. I'm hoping he's in, but whether he's in or not, I'm still confident they're going to have a good week. They've just got a solid team, I think. Obviously, they played the Texans 31-20, lost to the Jags 21-31, but as you said, the Jags are an extremely good team. And I think I'm not convinced by the Baltimore Ravens either, and I just saw the +8, and I think the Ravens probably will win, but I think it'd be close. Watching what I saw from the Colts last week, they're coming together. It's not a stat-based one, to be honest with you, Biss. I can't rattle off 50 stats of why I think I'm right here like you did and just outdo it. But this is just watching the games, watching Red Zone, watching highlights, watching as much as I do. I think the Colts are going to make this one close, with or without Anthony Richardson. I think the backup was Gardner and Minshew, if I'm not correct.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I love a bit of Minshew mania, and I think whether it's Minshew or Richardson, I think they've got the wide receiver core going, and I believe they're on a vengeance without Jonathan Taylor, and. I think it's going to be a close game. Ravens might win, but I reckon it'd be 3 or 7 points. I think that 8's just over what I would predict in that game. And I think because they're both good defenses, I don't imagine it's going to be a crazy high score anyway. The Colts are getting better and better. And I think the Colts are going to pull off a +8. If they lose, probably will do, but Colts +8 for me. I'll load my second bet up because you're not giving me much back there, Vish. And
I think it's definitely, well, I think it's on course to be Gardner Minshew. I think Anthony Richardson missed Wednesday's training, so I think in the concussion protocol, you know, he has to do some sort of training. So I think it's looking likely it's Gardner Minshew. And as I said, it's tough. These more than one touchdown sort of handicaps, as I said, it's quite tough to go against them really. With a +8, it's more than a touchdown. And the way the Ravens play, you know, they're not really a team that rack up scores. You know, they'll get ahead and they'll just close the game out. So you know, a 7-point lead might be good enough. If I had to lean one way, I'm gonna lean the Ravens and just think that they might nick it by 10 points in terms of touchdown and a field goal. But yeah, it's one of them. I think if you like you are, I think you fancy the Colts +8 more than one score, but I'd probably lean the other way, to be honest. But yeah, who knows?
There's been a disagreement, and there's nothing wrong with it. Yeah, like you said, the Ravens went close against the Bengals, beat them 27-24. They beat the Texans 25-9. Obviously, that Texans one's the one that scares me, but I don't rate the Texans at all. And I think the Colts are just, from what I saw last week, are better than week one. And as obviously we discuss every year, it takes teams 3 or 4 weeks to get into the stride. Anyway, the defense didn't hit the ground running, the Colts, but I think that they've got the talent there, and they've got the overall squad with Minshew mania or with Anthony Richardson. Minshew, you'll release them wide receivers that are awesome, or with Richardson, he's going to release. He's a Lamar Jackson type player anyway, who run his health. Obviously, got 2 touchdowns last week. Whichever one I'm happy with, and I think it'll be a close game that the Ravens might edge, but +8, too much for me with the run heavy Ravens offense. But my next one, Bish, I'm calling this the battle of the rookies. We've got Jahmyr Gibbs versus Bijan Robinson. The battle of the rookies. Jahmyr Gibbs I don't think he scored a touchdown yet. Bish, he's obviously the receiving down back for the Lions, but they've got Craig Reynolds out. They're playing Craig Reynolds as that third down back. You can't compare the two. Craig Reynolds, lovely, all right player, but Jahmyr Gibbs is that elite running back. We've seen it so far in his highlights. It's time to release him. They've took a slow approach. The first week, he didn't have the most carries. Second week, he's had more. Third, I think they're going to get him his touchdown and get him into it. And then obviously Bijan Robinson, the other rookie running back, that's the superstar, the Texas running back. He is unbelievable. Have you seen some of his highlights this week, Bish, that are coming out?
Yeah, the cutting. I actually my speed. I do a bit of speed at Sheffield, and my speed coach actually sent it to me. Just the. Not the cutting, more that he's watching his legs. They're like little pistons, just never stopping. Boom, 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 bam, and he's just sending defenders left, right, and centre. He's unbelievable to watch.
Yeah, and well, you've nailed it. Well, I think I think it'd be a brilliant game as well. Lions versus the Falcons. The Falcons have had a good start. The Lions, obviously, up and down, obviously beat the Chiefs that first week. Both exciting teams. I didn't think I'd say that about the Falcons that last year. They weren't. They were probably one of the least exciting teams to watch. But I think with Bijan and the hype he has, I find it really fun watching these running backs. I find it fun watching Bijan. He's got the hype, and he's obviously matching it with these incredible highlights. And I think both will get a touchdown. I think both teams are pushing these two running backs to be the stars of the end of the season for next year and onwards. And I think this is the game that they'll both will be fully released. So yeah, anytime touchdown double, the Lions Falcons game, Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan Robinson, the double rookie touchdown on the way, Bish. I think I might have a bit of fun with that one.
I like that one, and I'm just hoping that the Lions let Gibbs do his thing. You know, as we saw from DeAndre Swift when the Eagles gave him the ball last Thursday and just absolutely went wild. I think Gibbs is that same mold, that same sort of player. Hopefully, you know, they trust him enough. You know, 2-3 games into his rookie career, that they give him enough ball just to showcase what he can do. Because yeah, those two running backs, it'll be a great game to watch what them two do.
Yeah, exactly. And I think with how they're lining up, Dan Campbell's a smart man. I think that he's just releasing him more and more. And this is the week that we're going to fully see Jahmyr Gibbs' full potential. Because if you look at your fantasy, Craig Reynolds has got a high predicted score. It's like 8 or 9. And for Craig Reynolds, that's incredibly high. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's all going to be Jahmyr Gibbs. And then I don't have to go into Bijan. Bijan's Bijan. He looks unbelievable. And I think both are going to get a lot of points and score a touchdown or maybe 2. If you're feeling brave, chuck one of them to get 2 touchdowns. I wouldn't be surprised either way. But on my third one, this is my Bet365 Bet Boost because we're going for the Bet365 sponsorship, or I am at least. I'm pushing for it. I went through all of them. I actually sent tonight's one originally to Bish, so that was my poor judgment and seeing when the game was again. But I've settled on the New England Patriots. I think from what I've seen from them, they're looking good, Bish. I don't know what do you think of the Patriots at the moment?
I think they're a lot better on offense with Bill O'Brien in there. Obviously he helps Mac Jones out. He's a pretty crafty offensive sort of coordinator, coach. So yeah, I think they look better attacking wise. Yeah, it's hard to say. That defense that used to be so strong is, I'm not sure. There's a lot of people questioning Belichick and is it Brady, is it Belichick, and now Belichick's getting a bit of hate. But this one, yeah, this is the one that I refer to as a bit of a coin flip. So, but yeah, if I were going to lean, I quite lean the Patriots.
Yeah, because it's the Patriots versus the New York Jets. I don't think I said that. The Patriots are minus 2.5 on the handicap. Obviously, Jets plus 2.5. The over/under is only 36.5. So they're expecting a good defensive game. Obviously, we've seen the Jets over 2 weeks now. Obviously, it's terrible what happened to Aaron Rodgers, but Zach Wilson's not the dude. I know it's a bit. I don't want to join in on the hate because he's had loads of it this week. I need to be fair to him. He's had it left, right, and centre again, just last year. But I don't. He had a shocker last week, and
he did have a shocker. But to be fair, Micah Parsons, that Dallas defense, I think they'll do that to a lot of teams this year. So I think, I understand the merit of him of not being good, but I think to pile on it after the Dallas game, it's I think that's a bit harsh, but. But yeah, the narrative's there, so yeah. Until he performs, I guess he's stuck with it.
Yeah, and if I go back on the bet to score 15 plus points, the over/under's 36. I think they will. I can't see them scoring. I think the Patriots' offense is actually better than what most teams imagine. Ramondre Stevenson being the running back there, I think he's a very good running back from what I see. He's a powerhouse and he's got the speed to match. And I think the Patriots offense is with Hunter Henry, the two tight end sets that you talked about. Was it in last week's show, Bish, or was it this week?
I think it was. I think it was last week's.
I think that's where Belichick shines. And Zach Wilson, can he get 15 plus points? I don't know. That's the risky part of the bet for me. It's obviously a bet boost. So there's always a part of it that's you might not be in. But I'm banking on the Jets' running game being that good and that hard to stop, Bish. That they do get 2 touchdowns. I still think the Patriots will win. I think the Patriots have got 2 touchdowns and a couple of field goals in them. And I think the Jets might get 2 touchdowns based on the running game. But I don't know. I'm just anti. That's the part of it that's nervous for me. And then again, Ramondre Stevenson, what a running back, Bish. I don't. You're the man that likes the running backs as well as me, but I think he's probably up there in my top 10 running backs of the NFL.
He's very good. Yeah, he's very good. He he can handle a lot of work as well. So he's one of those very few workhorse running backs. So I'm sure he'll get an opportunity. Well, plenty of opportunities on the ground, and hopefully one goes over for that touchdown for you.
Yeah, with Ramondre, I think Bill Belichick putting that much faith in a running back shows what he's all about, to be honest. I think if you look at previous years, he normally has a committee running back. Bill Belichick famously always has a committee running back room. He likes that. He don't want to rely on one person. And he has signed Ezekiel Elliott, but Ezekiel Elliott, from me, looks a shade of the man he was on the highlights this year. Obviously was one of the workhorse running backs of the NFL, but I think Ramondre's taking over. Bill puts his faith in him, and I think he's going to award that with at least a touchdown. I think the Patriots will get the win. Zach Wilson will have a few turnovers. They'll rely on the running game, will the Jets. It'll be a slow-paced game, couple of touchdowns each, both based on the running aspect of the game, Bish, and I think that's my 3. It's embarrassing to admit, Bish, but I'm more confident in your bets than mine this week. I think you've nailed yours. I've gone for some risky ones, but I like to make it exciting. I think yours are sure bets, which is exciting because everyone likes making money, but mine might keep you at the edge of the seat till the last game.
I think mine are definitely season long. Mine's a marathon. We need to be ticking them off and be hitting 2 out of 3 weeks to be making profit. And yours are obviously, one comes in, you're in profit straight away. So I like the angle of it. And obviously we've got Tag's touchdown treble where we only need one for the whole season and we're in profit for the year. So I think we've got a good mix. Just hopefully they all fly home on Sunday.
Yeah, like you said, if I remember last year, Bish, these were the weeks that we did land the good ones, the ones where it's close, and you've gone very deep into the analytics, which is your A game, and I think you've nailed a couple. Tags, just for the viewers, Tags touchdown treble will be available on Instagram and YouTube Shorts on the coming weeks. In the coming few days, it'll get released everywhere. But not on the YouTube. For everyone watching, it is Tag's last game Friday night, probably when this video will be coming out. So good luck tagging your last game. His testimonial stuff is all over his Instagram. Go get some stuff for him. Go support Tag however you can. Obviously, he's been a loyal fan of our show and obviously does his touchdown treble, come on and done a few live streams with us, Bish. So I'm wishing him all the best on his last rugby league game.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, great career, great person as well. So yeah, we'll look forward to. Well, he'll be looking forward to staying up, on a Sunday night watching that late game and not having to go to training on a Monday morning. So I know he's looking forward to it. So yeah, all the best to Tag tomorrow.
Tag, if you need a career after your rugby, you can always join the punt. Three faces can fit on this screen, Tag. You're more than welcome to become a loyal joiner of the show. But for now, it's me and Bish, Tag. But no, all good, Tag. All the best. And Bish, should we just wrap over the bets one more time for the viewers quickly? I'll load up yours.
Yeah, week 3, we've got Josh Jacobs over 71.5 rushing yards. Jordan Addison over 49.5 receiving yards, and Nico Collins over 53.5 receiving yards.
For the viewers, I think they're brilliant. Get on them and let's all make some money on Bish's bets this week. But no pressure, Bish. My one's the riskier week.
That's week 2.
Done it again. No, sorry. The Colts +8, tough game versus the Ravens, but a +8 score on any handicap is a big one, especially in NFL. Minshew Mania is back for the Colts. If it's Anthony Richardson, just as good. They're looking better and better each week. Get on the Colts. They may lose, but I think that's a big handicap. My fun bet of the week, though, we've got the rookie touchdown double, the fun, all the action Jameer Gibbs versus B. John Robinson. I think they'll both get a touchdown. That'll be an exciting game for all the viewers watching. It's Lions versus the Falcons. Get ready because I think there'll be loads of highlights, loads of fun plays, especially from these two running backs. Hopefully, getting us some money and a lot of touchdowns between them. And then the third one's a Bet365 bet boost. Patriots win. Both teams score 15 plus points and Ramondre Stevenson to score a touchdown. That's against the New York Jets. Patriots, Bill Belichick famously always has a very good, exciting defense. That's why I think they'll get the win. The Jets have a very good defense, but Ramondre Stevenson's another level. I think he'll get a touchdown and Patriots will grind out a win in that one. So, yeah, get on them. Bish, been a pleasure. Been a quick one. We've been flying through, but give us your final thoughts.
No, just like, subscribe, in the comments your best bet for week 3, and we'll hopefully we'll all get on. Obviously, gamble responsibly. Only bet what you can afford. It's just fun. So, but yeah, look forward to week 3. Red Zone on. I'm actually going to miss the first half because we've got Bradford on Viaplay. So yeah. So get that one done and then get on for the late games.
I'll be having 2 screens, Bish. I'll be watching. Rugby league fans, that'd be a right game. Watch Viaplay, Sheffield v Bradford, all the playoff implications. It's for a home draw in the playoffs, isn't it, Bish? So
yeah, that's right. Winner takes third. Yep. So home playoff spot. Yeah. So yeah, last regular game of the season. A lot to play for. So yeah, looking forward to it.
sold out as well. So everyone get on TV. It'd be a great atmosphere to watch and a great game. And then flick over to Red Zone and watch our bets come in for a brilliant Sunday evening. Bish, been a pleasure, and I'll see you soon.
See you soon.